Everybody that rents here is an artist, serious about the craft.
We've got the wheels, we've got all the equipment. We're pretty much a self-contained studio.
At this point, I consider myself very fortunate to have come to Duluth and found a community that I've really connected with.
To have this community space is huge. I was so excited moving to Duluth to find it. Most directly, I would say I draw my inspiration from my surroundings.
It's a natural way to explore my ideas with just space and material and form.
I can just be in the moment, in the zone, fully. I can lose track of time completely, you know.
I also love to make functional work that people use every day.
I try to make like things that I can sell fairly cheap so that it's accessible to average everyday people.
When I opened a shop, I love making things, sort of like Brett was saying, I love making things that people use.
And I also love the like lack of control in a way in certain parts of it, like the firing process. Just sort of give it up to the gods, you know, and let it be what it's going to be.
So each pot comes out different, and then seeing that finished product after putting in all that time throughout the different stages of the process is really rewarding, I would say.
The beauty of it is like you just never know what you're exactly going to get.
If I get a pot back from the kiln that I'm not totally satisfied with, then I want to get back on the wheel.
And if you're really being true to your soul, I think you'll find a path.
I chose Lincoln Park because the building that we're sitting in right now is just right here. I chose it because of the art studio, because I knew that I needed to have that sort of space, that third place in my life to go and be creative and connect with people that are also exploring these deeper issues, like what does it mean to be creative and how do we make art and what is it that we're even doing together? That's why I chose Lincoln Park.
I think the biggest thing for a studio space like this is that it's available to all the kids that come out of colleges, you know, that have degrees in ceramics, and all of a sudden they're thrown out because they can't work there, they're graduate students or whatever, and they don't have access to any of the equipment. And you know, they either have to go out and try to find a place to work, have to buy their own wheels. The reality is what we can really do for them is we can be that interim space. We can say, hey, come down here, you can continue doing some of your work.
I couldn't have a home studio. I'm just like not in the position where I could have a home studio right now, so it means a lot that I have a place that I can do this.
If it wasn't for this building, right now I wouldn't be able to make finished work.
And having space to be creative is essential to my being.
Good evening. It's just my great joy and pleasure to be here with you. I mean, I'm not really with you. I can't see you. I'm sad we can't be together in person. But really, this is a marvelous, marvelous thing, even though we're not together. But I look forward to a time where we can be. And I had the great pleasure, I don't know how many years ago, of doing a little workshop at the Duluth Art Institute in the ceramic studio. And I'm just remembering what a wonderful community it was at that time. And I know it's grown. And I think you're in a different location now. Is that right? You're not in the main building, you're in a different location, is that true? I don't know. I can't talk to anyone, I guess. Anyway.
Linda, me too. We are actually in two locations. We're in the depot, and we also are in the Carnegie Library in Lincoln Park. So we are still on 2nd Street and then also on Michigan Street.
Okay. Thank you. Is the ceramics in the original building or the Carnegie?
It's in the Carnegie building, and so it did move. It moved quite a while ago.
Yeah, well, I guess that dates me. At any rate, it was a real pleasure to have a look at all of the work that was submitted. And I tell you, as a juror, it's really a tough thing. I've been a juror on a couple of criminal cases in the court system, and I've been also a juror for ceramics exhibits and some other art exhibits, and they're all equally stressful and actually wonderful opportunities, because it's a real test of dismissing one's own personal likes and dislikes and emotions and attachments, and just being open to the information. And it's a wonderful experience to have the opportunity to do so. I thank you so much. It's a little bit like looking at a photograph of a police lineup. With pots and sculpture, you want to be able to pick the things up and touch them and walk around them. And if it's a pot, you really want to put it to your lip or hold it in your hand. So it's very frustrating to just look at a picture. It's very, very difficult. And my great fear always is that through my own, I don't know, foibles or whatever, I'll certainly miss some wonderful things. Maybe the photographs, aren't so great, or maybe there's just one view, and I really want to turn it around. Look at the bottom. Look at the other side. I know a lot of the work, I just had such an immediate reaction to, and then I wanted more information, and I just didn't have it. And that's always a sorrowful experience. It's like getting the opportunity to meet somebody, but then being called away, or a meal that looks so great and then you're called away suddenly. So it's a mix of it's just a really mixed, difficult, and wonderful opportunity. So I thank you so much for that. I guess that my process is I try to look at the work every day for many, many days, at least a week, sometimes 2 weeks if I have the time. And I think I had about a week or, 8 or 9 days with your beautiful work. And I looked at least twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. And for the first couple days, I don't think, I just look at everything very slowly and give each photograph the same amount of time. And I try to not look at a name. That's one of the things that's hard. If you recognize a name, it throws a little bit of a loop in there. So I blocked the names from the very beginning, so I didn't recognize any names. Then over time, I guess my attention is drawn to certain pieces over and over, and I would say that the commonality would be the content is clear. Things are well made. And I could see the work from more than one angle. So that sort of limited the scope for those of you that only had one view. That made it rather difficult. So that was the process I used. And we were only, I was supposed to select 3 awards, and I found it very, very difficult to do that. So I actually asked permission if I could add a 4th. So I did add a 4th award, and I hope that you'll be pleased with that. I don't know if you want me to announce the awards, or
Yeah,
I
you're
see a
welcome.
yes. Well, the awards that were chosen were, I'll just read them here just so I can remember the names of the pieces. Craig Bruce with Bone Ash Bowl. Robin Murphy with, I'm not sure if you call it marked or marked. Ashley Hise with Desire Lines, and Dave Lynas with Bowl of Trees. And congratulations to you for, it was really excellent work. Very high quality, high caliber, and you should feel very good. And also to everyone, really, really through poor photography, your work wasn't chosen. That's the main reason. So I would encourage next year to find a way to provide a few more views if you can. And again, I really wish I could be there with you in person and talk about your work, because it's a fantastic exhibit.